Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier Phillips. C News is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, assessments on the damage of Tropical Storm Bret will continue in the coming days. And the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management this morning updated the public as to what has been done so far and what can be expected moving forward. Our reporter Ian Wason was at the press conference and is on the line to give us an update. Good afternoon, Ian. What was discussed at the meeting?
Good afternoon. Well, at the meeting of the Office of Disaster and Preparedness Management, they dealt with the online issue that they have been having. You know, a lot of persons would have posted a lot of misleading information on Facebook and other social media, and he ordered and pleaded with these persons to stop. He made a reference to yesterday where some persons alluded to a tropical storm watch or warning that we were under, which turned out just to be a normal rainy season rain. And, well, apart from that, he would have appraised us of the ongoing work that has been going on. They would continue to have these vector control measures in flood-prone areas. And Mr. Raul Mahabir from the Red Cross was also there. They are liaising with the regional corporation. And he says that the international partner, the international body of the Red Cross, are on standby if there is need to.
And can you tell us, was anything discussed on funding by Captain Wint?
Yes, the funding are available, grants are available for those who need it, and of course they can go through the various channels.
Okay, thank you very much. Ian Wason there discussing the ODPM's press conference earlier today. Well, the price of some locally grown foods have increased since the passage of Tropical Storm Bret. And according to the president of the Agricultural Society, Dana Suku, this increase may stay for the next 3 to 4 months.
Many of these farmlands that went underwater, those were crops that were presently being marketed. Well, but what has happened in the last couple of days, we expect that to be so for probably the next 3 months. Because what is happening is that even though the crops that were being harvested were not, those that were damaged, you also had other crops that is anticipated to be on the market within the coming weeks. So it's not something that, okay, this is a one-off and, you know, to get farmers back into production. Crops usually take like 90 days, 3 months, 4 months, it depends.
She said so far the Minister of Agriculture has not stated how it will be assisting affected farmers. But this afternoon she's expected to have a discussion with him. Ms. Suku also addressed the issue of damaged produce being sold in markets.
Definitely so. Well, you know, we have a serious issue with radio loss in this country. So what is happening is that that will not be the practice of the farmer. That will be the practice of people who will be stealing on farmers' holdings.
Well, in the Senate on Tuesday, Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Clarence Rambarat, called on people to purchase items at the farmers' markets across the country, as those vendors are bona fide farmers. The minister was addressing the concerns raised that some vendors may be looking to sell produce that were affected by flooding following the passage of Tropical Storm Bret.
The ministry is also working with NAMDEVCO and the Public Health Division of the Ministry of Health to do periodic inspections at municipal and other markets around the country. And the Predial Larceny Squad is aware of the risk of stolen vegetables and fruits entering into the marketplace having been affected by flood, and is paying particular attention to market and roadside sales, and we continue to advise the public. At this time, however, Madam President, with the passage of time, I think the risk of that produce coming into the marketplace has been significantly reduced.
And the produce to pay special attention to are cabbage, sweet peppers and tomatoes. To some crime news now, police are investigating the shooting death of another Chinese national. According to reports, at around 10 p.m. on Tuesday, Yana Zheng, the owner of NNN Minimart, was shot by men who entered her business place demanding money. The incident occurred at Cantaro Village, Santa Cruz. The suspects escaped in a waiting vehicle. Zheng died on the way to hospital. Last week, Shiru Zhao, 32, and Yang Li Gu, 30, were gunned down outside their apartment building in Marabella. They operated a casino in the area. This is the C News Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. Attorney at Law and Opposition Senator Wayne Sturge says it's important for the church to be part of solving crime.
People not to horn or not to chop each other or get involved in love tribes and so on. That starts in the home, and if you're failing in the home, that's where the religious leaders step up. That's where once more you have to have a lot more strength in terms of the role played by religious bodies in school from very young. Ask yourself why you don't have, not that there are not love triangles in prestige schools, but when there are, you don't see the type of violence, you don't see the type of school fighting and so on that you see on video in all the other schools.
Speaking on Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago today, Mr. Sturge also noted legislation alone will not solve crime.
When you pass legislation, it is really to deal with the criminal justice system from the police, they are the first point, the starting point, up to the end. So you really cannot solve crime by passing legislation. The point made by Baptiste Primus, that really deals with long-term measures dealing with crime. You see, you can't legislate against a love triangle or a horn or something like that.
$7 million has been allocated for the Tobago Heritage Festival. This according to newly appointed chairman of the Heritage Festival Committee, George Leacock. Mr. Leacock, who accepted the position on short notice, said he accepted it knowing there would be many challenges. One such challenge, he pointed out, was the lack of sufficient funding and the short period of time he has before the heritage season starts. Mr. Leacock said several changes were made to ensure that the budget will be properly utilized. He said the year-round event was cut out and will go back to being 2 weeks, and all budgets for the various community groups were cut. However, Mr. Leacock promised that those in attendance will get value for money, as the event would show accurate depictions of Tobago's history under the theme Bring Back the Old Time Days. The Heritage Festival starts on July 14th and goes until August 1st, Emancipation Day. There is only one certified tour guide working with the Chagaramas Development Authority, and in recent times, many tours have been carried out by customer service representatives who are not certified to do so. This was divulged by the General Manager of the CDA, Deowati Dilraj Batu Singh, as she responded to questions asked by members of a Joint Select Committee this morning. She said one of the reasons for this is a lack of financial resources.
We do have certain individuals at the authority who are very well trained and are actual tour guide. We have one who's actually very good, and he does internal training with our members, but we of course have to do external as well. And we are very, very much constrained because of our financial situation to be able to pay CSRs and to pay tour guides with the very limited funds that we do have.
She explained the memorandum of understanding between the Tour Guiding Association and the CDA is in the works and should help deal with the problem. As it stands, a tour guide is paid between $60 to $100 per hour for their services, but this is not feasible when only 2 or 3 people request a tour.
We won't have, say, 1 or 2 persons who are interested in coming to a tour, and then we have to go to the Tour Guiding Association to retain them. Then we have to, for example, pay for the vessel. If it is an offshore tour to go to the islands, we have the cost of the vessel. They are normally accompanied by one of our employees. It really is quite a number of challenges in even getting a tour organized with the Tour Guiding Association.
On average, the CDA makes between $5,000 to $7,000 a month, and July-August vacation close to $9,000. Mrs. Dilraj Batu Singh says efforts will be made to ensure this service is back to normal, as it's an integral part of the tourism industry. Now for the weather forecast. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy conditions with light to moderate showers. There is the chance that a few of these showers during the day can become heavy and thundery. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding can occur in areas under heavy showers and thunder showers. Seas are normal, occasionally moderate. Waves up to 2.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Archbishop Joseph Harris is still awaiting word from the Pope as it relates to the acceptance of his resignation. Archbishop Harris sent in his resignation to the Pope back in March, a few days before his 75th birthday, as is the norm in the religion. He explains what needs to happen for his departure to take effect.
What happens normally is that you get a letter from the Pope saying, using the Latin words nunc pro tunc, which means we accept your resignation now, but it doesn't come into effect until we tell you.
Archbishop Harris said he's looking forward to officially being relieved of his duties, having been a priest for the past 49 years. It was reported that Pope Francis accepted Archbishop Joseph Harris's resignation letter. However, as the Archbishop has just confirmed, this development has not yet arrived. Water customers serviced by the Carson Field Water Treatment Plant may be experiencing an interruption in their water supply. The utility cut the service at 8 a.m. and it will be so until 8 p.m. It says this has become necessary in order to facilitate planned maintenance works at the plant. Areas affected include Carson Field, including Susu Lands, Arena Road, including Uquia Road, and all side streets, Upper Sudas Road, Edinburgh Road, Carson Field, and all side streets from the Freeport Overpass along Mission Road to Sudas Road Junction, including Christian Village, and all side streets. Questions continue to be asked about the number of compliant and non-compliant home business owners who occupy lands under the Chagaramas Development Authority at a sitting of the Joint Select Committee this morning. Acting Chairman Ramona Ramdial questioned the number of leaseholders in the Chagaramas area who have received the proper approvals. The health inspector at the Diego Martin Regional Corporation responded.
From 2000 to 2017, we have 38 applications, that is planning permissions from Town and Country. Right? To this date, we have 5 out of the 38 that was granted final approval from the corporation. So basically it was 5 who were compliant in seeking their final approval.
However, he could not say of the remaining 32 how many were non-compliant. Meanwhile, the general manager of the CDA, Deowati Dilraj Batusingh, said there are procedures in place to ensure outstanding approvals are made where necessary.
We have tenants who might be for many years without approvals operating, but it is something that we do have a unit specifically looking for, and we have been working with the tenants to get the necessary approvals. And when follow-up compliance visits are done and they are not yet in compliant with providing the approvals, more strong or stringent letters are sent to the tenants, and even inviting them in some instances to come in and really try to put their house in order.
Implementing the use of innovation across Trinidad and Tobago continues to be the focus to diversify the country. This time, the Economic Development Advisory Board, together with the Ministry of Planning and Development, the European Union, and the Inter-American Development Bank, and the University of the West Indies, continue to join forces with a conference focusing on building an innovative and sustainable environment. Currently, the National Innovation Policy of the government is before Cabinet for its approval. This policy aims to guide the diversification strategy and a roadmap and the draft National Development Strategy Vision 2030. Addressing the conference this morning, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal of the UWI St. Augustine Campus, Professor Brian Copeland, shared the importance of encouraging innovation in the education system.
The adoption of a more aggressively innovative culture therefore makes for a more robustly creative citizen, and by virtue of its novelty characteristic, strengthens the ability of companies to compete internationally. It also increases the individual's ability to develop SMEs for international markets, thus enabling a shift in our economy.
He said there's need to move away from being an oil and gas dependent country.
Legacy, one in which colonization has stymied what Best and Levitt referred to as an internal dynamic, resulting in this instance in an inadequate innovation culture buoyed by an inappropriate education system.
We begin with cricket. The selection panel of Cricket West Indies named 2 newcomers in the Windies 13-man squad for 3rd, 4th and 5th matches of the ODI series against India. They are Kyle Hope, a 28-year-old top-order batsman and brother of Shea Hope, and Sunil Ambrus, a 24-year-old wicketkeeper batsman. Courtney Brown, CWI chairman of selectors, said the 2 very promising young batsmen were selected on the basis of strong performances in CWI competitions. And they will be up against a good Indian team, and they have an opportunity to show their skills and contribute to the stronger team performance. The full squad is Jason Holder, captain, Sunil Ambrus, Devendra Bishu, Roston Chase, Miguel Cummings, Kyle Hope, Shea Hope, Alzari Joseph, Evan Lewis, Jason Mohammed, Ashley Nurse, Kesrick Williams and Rovman Powell. Jonathan Carter and Kieran Powell are the players from the first 2 ODIs dropped. The 3rd and 4th matches will be played at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground on Friday, June 30th and Sunday, July 2nd. First ball is 9 a.m. local time. The 5th match will be played at Sabina Park on Thursday, July 6th. First ball is 9 a.m. Jamaica time or 10 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Yet another local player is celebrating success abroad with national female goalkeeper Kamika Forbes, the latest to join the list, having become a fan favorite in Bogota, where she helped Colombian women's team Santa Fe win the title on the weekend. Forbes helped her team capture the inaugural Colombian Professional Women League's title with a 1-0 win over Atletico Huila after they defeated Atletico Huila 2-1 in the first encounter, eventually winning 3-1 on aggregate and qualifying for the 2017 Copa Libertadores Femenina in the process. One fan at the game was seen displaying a placard which read, "We love you, Kamika, I want your gloves." The 26-year-old Forbes kept 10 clean sheets in 16 games for her club and has been a key part of the team's campaign this year. Forbes looks primed and ready to assume her place in the national team for the upcoming Caribbean leg of the World Cup qualifiers, set to take place in a few months. This country's under-18 men's water polo team finished 2nd at the CC Can Championships after they were beaten by 14 goals to 9 by Puerto Rico. Kent Fuentes has details of an exciting encounter for the gold medal.
Team TNT faced Puerto Rico for the gold medal in the under-18 boys division, but the Puerto Ricans jumped out to an early lead before Chad Rowley leveled the scores for Team TNT. He had a game-high 3 goals for the men in the red caps. The teams exchanged goals as Puerto Rico extended their lead to 3-1. However, Team TNT never went away, scoring at every opportunity they got. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley in the stands taking the action alongside his family as they supported his nephew Chad in the pool. This as the teams continued to trade goals. TNT leveled the scores at 4 and even took a 5-4 lead. However, once again, Puerto Rico drew level 5-all. A pumped-up Trinidad and Tobago would fight back and take a 7-5 lead. With TNT leading by 8-6, the Puerto Ricans would take the wind out of the TNT sails and score 7 unanswered goals to take a 13-8 lead over the home team. TNT got a late 9th goal before the Puerto Ricans added a 14th, with Jose Lubriel netting 6 goals and Misil Adino tacking 1-4 as they won the gold 14-9 over Team Trinidad and Tobago, who had 3 from Rowley, while Jason Hackett chipped in with 2. Kent Fuentes, C Sports.
And it's congratulations to Gabriella Johnson, who won gold in the female category and attained TNT's first woman international master WIM title. She is now the youngest woman in the English-speaking Caribbean at age 16. Her performance also earned her a Woman Grand Master norm. 3 of these norms are needed to become a Woman Grand Master. The first Grand Master norm by any player in Trinidad and Tobago. Gabriella's brother Joshua Johnson also earned the bronze medal in the absolute section and obtained an International Master IM norm in the process. National under-18 champion Isaiah McIntosh ended in 5th place on 5.5 points, as did National under-14 and junior champion Alan Safar Ramuta, who ended on 5 points. National under-12 female champion Zara Lafleur also participated in the female tournament and performed creditably. That's it for sport. Well, that's how we end our CNews report at noon. I'm Karen Koze-Phillip. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.